Well, well, well. Yeah, if we can get our well up and going in this video, then as promised, by the end of it, I'm going to show you our backyard pond completely full of water. We can only hope. And even though it is November, I don't think we could really call this complete unless we test it out. Are you guys willing to test it out with me?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get that pump going and get this hole filled in before it starts to snow, all right? All right, let's go.
Dig, dry, DIY.
For those of you who might be joining us for the very first time, well, we spent a couple months this summer digging our own backyard pond. It's been a great year for digging a pond because it's been so dry, but it's been a terrible year for filling a pond because it's been so dry. So being as impatient as I am, I tried to drive my own well in an attempt to find water and fill it up quick. But well, let's just say it was a memorable learning experience and a quality family bonding exercise. So after that didn't work out, we hired a professional to come in and drill a new 5-inch well to not only fill up the pond, but also to help us future-proof our water needs for hopefully many years to come for both the house and the pond, as our current well shows definite signs of aging and fatigue. We figured it's not going to get any cheaper than it is right now, so why not? But in very short order, the pros came in and they drilled down to 68 feet, found good water in a nice sand vein, attached a large stainless steel screen, and then dropped in the 5-inch PVC casing, and that part was ready to go. Now to get the water out of the well, we're going to have to use a 1 horsepower submersible pump that'll go down nearly to the very bottom of the casing, but we weren't quite ready for it on the day of drilling. First, we had to tap into the electricity of the barn and get some wiring routed over to power the new pump. And since my dad is a retired electrician who's willing to do the occasional side project for his boys, we put him to work. He and my brother Troy worked on it during the week even when I wasn't home, and before too long, they had 2 different power leads mounted up to the outside of the barn right next to the wellhead. Now it was time for me to tidy things up a bit in preparation for the pump installation day.
You want the curve like that?
Yeah, I think that looks good.
Or do you want it straight across?
I think that looks good.
All right, so we have got the electrical ran over from the panel in the barn to here. I've got a 220 switch that's going to power the pump, and I've got a 110 outlet that we could hook onto and run anything we need for the pond, and we'll just have an outlet back here in case we want it. The problem now is, although this is a mess and we could fix it up and seed grass, that's not the problem. Even if it were grass, it'd be difficult to mow. You've got this well casing here and then a couple really tight corners. And when it comes to mowing, we're all about just making it as efficient as possible and not trying to get into the nooks and crannies. We're gonna alter the driveway here in the stone. We don't need this to be driveway, but we don't need it to be grass either. I'm gonna cut this out and make this stone. And I think it'll be nicer to mow and it'll just be aesthetically more pleasing. So let's get it cut out of there. I'm gonna reach back in here and get this corner dug out first where it's a long reach. Then I'll move back and get so that I can load into one of the trucks. Okay, I obviously want to be very careful as not to damage the well casing or the conduit that I have in the ground that's up there. And it's not that deep, so. All right, I got this corner cut out. Now I can move the backhoe and get one of the dump trucks in here to load into. The 750 isn't here, so I guess that means I'll just have to use Louie. I need to do something about the sideboards. The sideboards are too tall for what I want. Can't dump in there with a skid loader, which we got to be able to do. So it needs a few things. I just haven't even had a chance to work on it yet. I think that'll work. Got that dug out to the well casing. We can run our electric and conduit over to it. Just get the rest of this dirt out of here and we'll put some stone in. I don't know if I'm going to make it before it gets dark though. Okay, it got dark on me last night, but I was able to get this prepped up just enough so that we can do the work on the well. So the guys from Hollenbach are back. I think actually another brother, Greg, is coming to install the well pump. We're gonna get it plumbed into the electric so we can turn it on and then we'll fill it. But the coolest part is we had some help on this. The well pump itself comes from a local manufacturer, Flint Walling, and they've decided to help out and hook us up with a pump. So that's gonna be cool. I'll show you all that. Hopefully they're gonna be here any minute. All right, so Greg from Hollenbaugh has made it back. Thanks for coming, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
He's already busy at work. We're gonna get this submersible pump installed. So like I was saying, my cousin, Kyle, works for Flint Walling, and I didn't even know this, but they're just in Kennelville, just up the road from here. They decided to hook us up with a well pump for this, and they're American made, 19 gallons a minute. This one's 220 volt. So Greg's doing the wiring here on it. So this is a pretty common.
Yes, very common.
And do you use a lot of these pumps?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice people, nice pumps.
Yeah. Well, they've been great about supporting us on this deal here. So a crimp connection with some really good shrink tube is all it takes. Because these are down in the water, right? All these connections are down in the water.
Yep.
All right, so they're obviously going to set up the crane truck here so that we can grab a hold of the pump, lower it down into the well casing. Remember, the well is 68 feet deep to the bottom, but we're not going to put the pump clear at the bottom. I don't know how far down he's going to put it, but I'm sure he'll tell me. So for now, we're just going to set up the well just to fill the pond. It's going to be on or off with the switch. So that's why we put the switch on the back of the barn so that we could do that. It is not set up for a pressure switch or anything now. There's no pitless adapter, just live on, live off. Like, what's the normal size pump for a house?
We go anywhere from a half horse to a 1 horse.
But as far as like capacity of like how many gallons per minute, what's standard?
Usually anywhere from 10 to 30,
Oh, okay.
depending on how much water you
This is
need.
right in the middle. So I had said, like the well is 68 feet deep, I believe. So how deep are you gonna put this?
I'm going to put the pump 60 foot.
Oh,
it's down
60
in there
foot.
Plenty, yes.
Okay.
A built-in check valve,
Oh, it does?
yeah, to keep the water from flowing back, you know, so that way that's there. And I'm also going to put one on top of the well in the line, so if something happens to that one when you're filling it, it won't siphon the water back down.
Okay,
Double
yeah.
check it.
So that's just some chlorine to kind of help cleanse the water there. Like the water level is like 3 or 4 feet below the ground right here. You can almost reach in and touch it. Okay, Flint Walling pump's going into the bottom. I may not ever see it again.
You just hold that right there.
Okay. I'm gonna be a licensed pump installer before it's over with. There it goes. So you probably just do 3 lengths of pipe then?
Yep.
How high does your boom go?
Extend up to 30 feet.
30 feet.
I don't have to extend it all the way.
Three 20-foot sticks of, you said this is an inch and a
Inch and a quarter.
inch and a quarter. The worst part is it doesn't feel like swimming weather anymore. Oh boy, look at that guy.
It'll be real close.
Am I bugging you?
No, no, not at all.
In the last video, people thought I was bugging the workers the
No.
whole time, but
No, but even my brother, he enjoyed it too when he was out here.
see, Jason even said it was all right. It looks like constant chatter, but over a lot of time, you're just taking the little clips and stringing them together, and it looks bad, but they're okay with it. I don't know what the difference is between like a pitless adapter. You're not doing a pitless adapter.
No, we're not. We're doing a well seal, which means the water is going to come out the top of the well. A pitless adapter, we would dig a hole and tie into it below
Down.
frost.
I see.
So
That's the pitless adapter is like 4 feet down?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you dig around and then attach it to the well casing.
So when we want to connect this to the house, that's what we're going to have to do. We got to dig a hole and,
put a pitless adapter on it. That way you can use it in the winter.
yep.
The way this is set up now, you really won't be able to use it in the winter. We're just going to use it to fill the pond, and then
We're hoping that next year sometime, or like I said, our well shows signs of failing and the pump is weak. It's an above ground jet pump. The idea is if we invest in a good 5-inch well with a good submersible pump, then we've kind of future-proofed ourselves. We can, if our pump and well fails, we're going to switch over to this. And I hope that next year we can do that. We'll have to bore some lines into the basement and move the pressure tank and everything, but I think we're probably going to go this route eventually. But for now, we'll get the pond full and then we can keep it full. So I want to point out again, this is not what you do to set it up to supply water to your house. You would use what's called a pitless adapter, which goes in below the frost line. Around here, the ground could freeze 3 or 4 feet deep, and you want to make sure the water lines don't freeze. So you got to tap into it down below the frost line. Here, we're going to have to be mindful of this in the winter that we don't freeze the top portion that's exposed. So I'll have to winterize it basically. That's pretty slick. Wow.
it'll be out to about there. Ready to put some more?
That'll work. Like this might exist for a couple of years before we install a well in the house, who knows, but this will kind of keep it safe in the meantime. So that's underground direct burial wire, and that's why insulation is really tough on it. That's why the conduit is kind of overkill. It doesn't matter if it's laying full of water or, you know, this stuff is meant to be underwater. Okay, this is really Dad's department. I shouldn't be doing this. But here we are.
You guys travel any for? So we better fill quick.
Yeah, the sooner the better, actually, on that. I think if we just get it down to the water's edge, it'll be fine. I'll keep it pulled up. It's a moment of truth. We're going to see if it works. Switch is on. Oh, it's getting heavy. Now we wanted hot water. I kind of like that aeration effect. Well, I smell the chlorine.
Pump will do more than 19.
Because it's not under pressure.
Yeah, because it's high, and then it's got a higher raise.
Okay.
So exactly, I don't know, but
you're saying it could be up to 30 gallons per minute
if it's
with just being open.
with just being an open flow. So
Well,
hopefully it doesn't take you too long to fill it.
it's going to be interesting to see how fast this fills up. Is there any risk of the pump running nonstop, just leaving it on the whole time?
No, in fact, that's actually really good for the pump.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
So it's
What's hard on a pump is when it kicks on and off
Right.
all the time. Running it is just, no, it's good for it.
and that's why we didn't fill with our house pump, because
Yeah,
we know
it
that
would
it's
cycle on
it's
it.
weak to begin with, and it would cycle
Yes.
constantly. And when it's on, we have no water pressure in the
I always-
house.
You know, if we do a well for a new house that has a pond, we always stick the pump in it, fill the pond, and then tie everything, and then set something up for them to fill it behind pressure to keep
Gotcha.
it topped off.
So continuously on is just,
Yep, that's better for it.
all right. Greg, thank you
you.
so much
Good
for
luck.
doing it.
I'll be
Are you going to,
watching to see it full.
well, you can come back for the swim party
There
next
you
year.
go.
Are you going to do that?
There you go. We might have to do that. I'll send Jason to that one.
All right.
So,
Well,
yeah,
thanks a
good deal.
lot.
All right. Thanks, Neil.
We'll watch her fill up now.
Now all that's left to do is wait. Actually, there were still things I could be doing, like dump that load of dirt and finish the driveway, but it was going to be hard to wait. My guess was that it was going to take about a week based on an estimate of needing 250,000 gallons of water at a rate around 20 to 30 gallons per minute. And a lot of viewers have been patiently waiting to see this pond completely full, but nobody wants it as badly as I do. Many folks suggested that we should route our gutters from the house and barn to the pond to help fill it and keep it full, and that's not a bad idea, but it would be tricky since the elevation of the water is at the same elevation as the gutter outlets. I didn't want to have outlet pipes coming in just under the water level because they'd be at risk of freezing and plugging during the winter, and to route them higher would have just been cumbersome and ugly. Plumbing in the gutters just wasn't a good option for us. This pond won't get any filling by drainage or runoff water either because I elevated the top of the pond above its surroundings so that it wouldn't be compromised with field debris or dirty floodwaters. So from the very beginning, This pond was designed to be filled by just rainwater and the help of a nearby well, since that would be our best option for keeping it isolated and clean. My only regret is that I didn't schedule the well a little sooner. But hindsight is 2020. But as it turns out, with a really good well and a solid submersible pump, you can fill a pond of this size in just under 6 full days. Actually, I can add about 4 inches to the top in just under 12 hours, so hopefully there won't be any issue keeping it full during those long, hot, dry spells in the summer that make it hard to keep a pond full. I think having the well is going to be a perfect complement for a tiny little pond like this.
Well, it's taken all summer, but the pond is finally full, and I don't think it would be complete unless we just tested it out once. You willing to test it out?
Yes. No.
You know, polar plunges are all the rage, but I'm really not that interested. But if we think about it too long, we won't do it. Let's do it. Ready?
We started this project with apprehension. Should we give up our backyard? It's going to require a lot of maintenance. Are we sure it's worth all the money? But now, after seeing it full, our apprehension is finally fading. That first walk around the sidewalk with a topped-off water line was very rewarding. And to watch the water ripple up against the rocks is quite soothing. To exercise around the perimeter or swim laps in the summer, it's motivating. And having a place to bring family and friends together for fun and relaxation, that's comforting. But the best part, for sure, is hearing the laughter and the joy and excitement. That is heartwarming.
What's this called? Cruises for Cats. I don't think they will, they signed up for this.
But just because it's full, it doesn't mean we're done. We've already started a plan for aeration and proper healthy water balance, and I plan to share more about that with you in some upcoming pond videos. We also hope to do some decorating and landscaping and maybe some cool lighting to really set this place off on those hot summer nights. And with any luck, maybe we can hit our goal and host a family reunion out here next summer. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There is one last piece of unfinished business for this video.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Oh no! The pond works! I'm freezing. The pond officially works. Thanks for clicking on this video. I hope you liked it. And if we're lucky, we'll see you the next time. We'll see you in the next one. Hopefully it won't be so cold. Here it is. What's today? November 16th, 2023. Behind the scenes footage right before we're getting ready to jump in. Are you girls ready?
No, it's too close for this.
I'm nervous.
I'm excited.
Are you support?
I don't
This-
know.
I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm gonna jump in with this camera. I got 2 cameras on the tripod.
2?
Trent, ready to go? Life vests on standby.
Wait,
We're
Dad,
going this
no.
time.
No. Ready? No. Swim to the pond.
Ellie, you gotta go this
right?
time.
Swim to the beach, right?
Swim to the beach. I'm gonna try
I
to swim with
can't, Dad.
this selfie stick.
Dad, I can't. Holy snickerdoodle!
Okay, it's your turn.
What?
To jump in.
Let's go. I'm good. I'm gonna wait till summer.